Okay, hi you guys. It is Saturday, October 4th. Thank you so much for your questions from Thursday night's live. So I'm going to go ahead here. The first question, why the red flag country from Sue? Because every decision Don Julio makes, the red flag country benefits, economically, in terms of science, and now all of our allies are buying from the red flag country. As in the Steele dossier said, the purpose basically was for Russia to serve as a front for other countries. It's not just Russia. It's to isolate the United States, isolate her from our allies, replace the US dollar, and destroy NATO. 2022, Putz went to Xi during the Olympics to tell him what he was going to do about the invasion. Thank goodness he invaded after USA Pluto return number 1. And I believe it was Mercury retrograde. But since then, since the Russia has been decimating itself, red flag country has been propping up Russia. In the forefront, everybody sees Putin and Don Julio. But remember, Putin is also operating at the behest of the red flag country. Since the first term and this term, energetically, I can always tell when it's Russia is not at the behest of the red flag country. Russia is not at the behest of the red flag country. Russia is operating on its own will. Now, as I described the Steele dossier, are the results from the Steele dossier happening as planned? Yep. Let's go into this in a little bit more depth. I want to see Don Julio, Russia, and red flag country. Surveillance, comms, connections. So wow. Donald doing stuff for red flag country. This is what he does. Donald to Putz. This feels small. Red flag country to Putz. Red flag country to Donald. Oop. How does China relate back? How does this relate back to Donald? The Ten of Swords. This is on the foundation of the Ten of Swords. It's the op, but it is the master plan. The Ten of Swords, the air, Virgo surveillance, that has to do with everything with government surveillance and sharing spyware. The Queen of Wands. Oh, here we go. The Queen of Wands. So this is how the leadership is happening amongst these countries. There's the big secret. This has been Don Julio to other nations, mostly the Russia, and how the Four of Pentacles, they sit on democracy, and there's Don Julio. So Don Julio. Oh, he's part of the network. He's not the leader. He depends on the network, the 11th house. This is the Russia. Oh, the Gemini goes in between. So Russia functions as the going in between leadership. The red flag country, the grand trine blessings. This is where everything flows for the red flag country. Don Julio relates to the Russia this way. The Five of Wands. Russia is the middleman with the Queen of Wands and how all of this is carried out. Don Julio to WHYCHlNA, the King of Wands. His leadership, what he does, helps lead the way with these two. If he was against this, he wouldn't have a relationship there. He would plug the gap. There's a nice flow here. I believe this is WHYCHlNA to the Russia. The Ten of Pentacles. So they have the money, they have the goods, they have the data, they have the software, they're the dynasty. That's how they relate back, how the red flag country relates back to Don Julio, the Four of Cups. I'm going to lay low, and I'm going to give you some information here. And Donald starts Ace 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Donald is kind of like a middleman, 4, 5, 6, to carry out the dream. This would be like a 7, 8, or an 8, 9, 10, but we'll see. The Ace of Pentacles. Holy crap. So this is what makes the engine go in its raw form. Okay, thank you. Next question we have. So again, BIBI made a horrific press comments here in the U.S. talking about going after our U.S. woke right or left. He called them, oh Jesus, he called them the Reich. So many right-wingers were incensed, as should be. Who the hell is he to come here and try to suppress our free speech? Well, remember Erdogan did that during the first term. Why does BIBI feel so entitled to do this? Fourth house, the roots, because he knows his defense of his nation, the United States will always be there, and he can say whatever he wants. What is your relationship to Donald and what you guys are trying to do? Reinvent, Mercury retrograde, reinventing so-called democracy. Thank you. Denise? One question. Lev wrote on Substack that his government sources told him that in the generals meeting, they used AI face reading capabilities to scan for dissent. Ooh, that is an interesting question. I would not be survived because they have this whole surveillance thing that's rolling out for us, what they're using in red flag country, and that's Israeli software. At the generals meeting, did they use AI face reading capabilities? That's a yes. Was AI used to look for dissent among the generals? Was AI used to look for dissent among the generals? Yep. Thank you. From Carol, I heard that Trump and Flotus had a private dinner tonight with JD and his wife at the Vance residence. That's interesting. Did Don Julio and Melanie have a dinner at the VP residence on Thursday or this week? Yes. What did they discuss? What was the point of the meeting there? The North Node, where they're going to go from here. What's the plan from here? What is Donald's plan from here? What is Donald's plan from here that he wanted to outline at this meeting? He's saying we're doing this. The Two of Cups. Yes, they were having a meeting, a very important meeting, a meeting of the heart, believe it or not. This is an alliance. This is kind of a new thing that they have to do. The Ace of Pentacles, where did that just show up? With the red flag country, and Don Julio's at the behest. Putz is the go-between, and that's what crowns the WHYCHlNA and Don Julio. And I would imagine Peter T is coming to mind. We're having this meeting because I'm the magician. Because the magician, the Hierophant reversed, and leading to the King of Pentacles. Oh my gosh, is this overturning the government to the King of Pentacles? We know you're doing that, but what is Vance's role? The Lovers. Is he stepping in? Oh, yeah, Vance is a knight. So I think Vance is being made aware of the plans that Don Julio has in place, and this is what he's supposed to do. Huh, that is interesting. Thanks, you guys.